today I have Callon B, the best branded nerdcore artist, I would say. How are you doing?
Oh, good. So happy to be here.
Yes. Do you first want to tell everyone who you are and what you do?
My name is Callon B. My voice is a little gone. I don't always sound like this, but I'm a rapper, an engineer, an AV tech guy. I do a little bit of activism work. I specialize in a lot of music businessing. I have a publishing company. I got my feet in and my hands in a lot of different bags in the scenes.
Yeah. And that's what I saw that really popped out to me. Like the stuff outside of the music, you were also very acclimated to.
Yes.
Um,
I stay busy.
How-
Busy bee.
I wanted to ask you how you balance all of it because I know for me it was some trouble, and we did talk about this a little bit on the phone. But for everyone else who knows that your hand is in every single pot, right? Like how do you do that?
A marker board with my
Yeah.
life wrote on it. And in Apple Calendar, bro, that it saves my life. I just have to make it a habit, and I am good at it, of just anytime something happens, I write it down
Okay.
with an alarm.
So you don't forget.
No, because
Yeah.
I will forget. I will forget everything. So I gotta have like reminders, and I just gotta make sure I'm organized and I got things wrote down and in front of me always. Like my marker board's right beside my computer. I'm always looking over it. Oh yeah, I do gotta do that. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like a checklist.
Yeah, so just being very list oriented.
Organized
Yes.
and
Organization is so key, especially when you're a creative person, because you're technically a business when you're a creative.
that's something that I've struggled with too. So it's interesting to see. I've been asking that to a few people because I struggle with that. I appreciate the advice, and I know a lot of other people are busy, whether it's creatively, right, or even in their everyday lives. Things tend to be a bit faster paced these days. So,
Oh yeah, if I start on a song, I write it down immediately.
yeah. Have you ever lost something where you're just like, damn?
Yeah, one time lightning struck my house and blew up an Xbox and a laptop that had a lot of music on it. And that
Shit.
was the day I bought a terabyte drive and
Oh my God.
lost like a whole EP I was working on at that time.
That
And
sucks.
that was a while back, but at the time, like that was the best work I had done. So to lose it was just like such a bummer. And
Damn.
never got any of it back, never recreated it. I got an external drive immediately after that. And now I have everything I've done for 10 plus years on there.
Backed up and everything.
I got
That's
multiple
amazing.
drives.
Yeah. I think that personally, I haven't had that happen to me yet, but I should plan for it. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
I don't though.
If you do anything
I just don't.
creatively, you got to have an external drive. Never know.
I guess so. And I know like some people say their files go corrupt. after-
That too. Yeah, there's so many nightmare scenarios that happen to everyone.
Fantastic.
Callon B for president
Fantastic.
2024.
Callon B for 20. Yeah,
That's
there's,
right.
there's room.
There was that branding again.
And that's what I mean. Like when it comes to branding with you, I think you've done it the best because you've figured out very quickly what you want. You haven't thought of it in a linear way. You're just like, okay, this is things that happen with bees. Then there's a hive. Then there's your merch. Your
Yeah.
merch is sick.
Thank you.
You know, and even the colors that you chose, branding wise, the black, the gold, like
Yeah.
those are some like premium like things you got going on.
Pharaoh stuff.
Yeah. So how did you come up with that? You know, your name in general, I guess.
So Callon B is actually my real name. B is just my middle initial. My last name is Welsh. It's Nanny. And in middle school, they used to call me Callon B Nanny, like a banana, obviously. And then it eventually just got shortened to Callon B. So I just kept that. And my music, one thing I always say is just like real name, no gimmick. Like you're hearing my music, you're hearing me. Very open, very honest, very personable, vulnerable on my songs a lot. So I just wanted it to be my real name.
It works.
Focusing on
It
the
works.
marketing. It's
Yeah.
like when you think about what a bee does in a hive and what all the bee does for the world, like the
Yeah.
world wouldn't be here without the bee.
Yeah,
The
the
bees
pollination.
sing the tune of the universe. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I just thought all that went really well with what I was already doing
That's beautiful.
and just developed it from there. I started actually reading about bees, studying bees,
yeah.
studying hives and stuff, and it's just like every time I learned something new, I was like, so I'm like,
Yeah,
so-
I can relate it to that. I wanted to ask you in terms of, you said essentially like bees have to be there for the world, right?
Yes.
And I think when it comes to activism as well, it's important to have people that start these conversations at the very least, and then you hope you get that ball rolling so it can become a very prominent discussion that politicians have to have then, and at that point you can change the world. How did you get into activism, and what political issues or what issues are the most important for you to tackle and to try and have an effect on?
When I was in middle school, me and my homies that would like make music together and stuff, we formed a rap group called GYB, Got Your Back.
Yes.
And when they all fell off and took it less serious and I stepped forward to pursue it fully, that kind of became my brand. And the mantra and the movement behind it is literally just like, I got your back. It's a movement that I want to push into a household name. And just like along with that, I just felt obligated. It's like, okay, this is my movement, this is my brand. So it's like I got to walk and talk it, you feel me? But obviously, big issues to me, socially, like awareness issues, dealing with racism, and that's primarily like I work for a nonprofit called Legacy Training. Our mantra is alleviating the poverty of the mind. Because being broke is just not a financial thing. You can be mentally broke too. So it's like we just aim to educate. One of the programs we offer is that we help provide inmates with courses they can take in prison. So when they get out, they already have a job day one out. They already have a house.
So to fall back on.
They don't have to fall back.
Yeah.
People need second chances. People make mistakes, but it doesn't mean that they should be wrote off forever.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that
Yeah.
they should be judged. So we believe in, if you're going to put in the work in and show that you want to change and you want to do better in the world, then we want to help give you the platform to do it. So that's the things that we do with Legacy. That's some of the work that I do with GYB. And the founder is like a criminal justice wizard. I do a lot of talks too, just talking to white people, talking to people of different races and cultures, and just like bringing certain things to their awareness, because one of the biggest problems I see is, especially like I'm white, I grew up in a mainly white area, but most of my friends are of other ethnicities. My girlfriend is another ethnicity, and there's like certain things that you start to realize and start clicking, and that you're seeing is, okay, like there's a separation, obviously, of miseducation and misunderstanding about just from white people being separated so much from other cultures and the way they act. I like to break and shatter some of those stereotypes and put things into new perspective.
Build some bridges between.
Yeah, some bridges and make you understand. It's like, okay, why do you think that criminal is bad? Because the environment that he was forced to come up in kind of molded him and pushed him to do certain things that reflect badly. Are you judging him, or are you judging the bigger problem? Is it a societal issue, or is it a you issue?
Exactly.
So it's like, those are the kind of pictures that I like to paint.
Yeah, no, that's great, because I feel like society is designed to just tackle the main thing that happened, right? So if a crime was committed, we go straight to that person.
Instead of correcting what might have caused that.
Exactly. And I think that unfortunately applies to a lot of different things when it comes to life, even in medicine. Some medicine are only attacking the symptoms and not the actual cause.
Perfect example.
It's awesome that you do that. I'll admit right now, I don't do that much when it comes to activism, but when I was younger, I do presentations here and there about global warming and do some of the science side, because that's the area that I was brought up in. But I think it's very important to do that in every aspect, right? Scientifically, politically, socially, like all of it. So shout out to you for doing that.
And you know, it's so cool too, because you see these same themes and you'll notice them in anime. Like anime a lot of times has a very strong message like that through certain arcs and through certain shows that I resonate like with the work that I do sometimes. So it is cool, and that's one reason why I've always loved anime, and why it also has led me to here.
Yeah, I think that it's really amazing that you can take like a source content of anime or whatever it is, and if it's well written, there's like an underlying concept or theme that they're trying to portray for you to understand, even subconsciously. So what would you say is an anime that opened your eyes to a concept or a new viewpoint?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes.
Honestly,
that's one of my favorites.
Such a good one, dude, because the war in that show, the war we have in real life, just like all the symbolism of the Tree of Life and the Cabal and everything that's within that show embedded in just alchemy in general. It's like a mystic art, which is just so up my alley. And then just, of course, Brotherhood. Brotherhood got your back. Like, so that's one of my favorites. It was one of the earlier ones I watched when I was younger. It came on Adult Swim, and that just stuck with me.
I like that.
And rewatching it as an adult,
it's definitely in my top 5. Brotherhood is in my top 5. Do you feel like you have to fit inside a box? Like, how do you juggle doing both sides of music, right? Even with your band as well.
Yeah, I hadn't mentioned the band yet. That's actually a struggle. If I have a struggle, it's that. It's balancing the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a band, Callon B and the Hive. It's like an 8-piece jazz, hop, gospel-y themed band. I'm the MC, obviously. We got backup singers and a lot of wonderful musicians. And we perform a lot. So I do a lot of live shows locally, regionally, and that's my thing with the band. We perform a lot. We have a really nice regional, local buzz on, and then Nerdcore is kind of like I'm Batman, get online, and then I'm the Nerdcore artist, Callon B, known a lot online.
Yeah.
And not at home. So it's like home doesn't know about Nerdcore, and a lot of Nerdcore does not know about the band.
So there's like the double life right there.
So I actually just got Freest. They played the piano on one of our songs recently. I got Kadesh Flo to play trombone with us one time. And then I've gotten Ashton Lerold and Peso and a few people to collaborate with me on band songs. I haven't dropped any of them yet. This is like a current project of fusing them and introducing the band to Nerdcore. So I've been just bringing friends I've made onto that type of music.
And shout out to Freest. Their bars, insane. What it was.
True wordsmith.
Yeah.
True wordsmith. I appreciate that.
Speaking of, is there anyone you'd like to shout out in the community or outside?
Yeah, my Otaku Underworld brothers. I haven't even got to really discuss them, but you know, like in the anime rap scene, I was introduced and welcomed into a collective called Otaku Underworld. So shout out my homies. I love y'all.
I just wanted you to shout out some of your music, where they can find you. Everything's going to be in the description, of course, but go ahead.
Callon B. I have an album with Jamar Rose dropping shortly after NPC. I have a Final Fantasy cipher coming. I've been working on that for 8 months that I'm really excited about. It's got a lot of wonderful people from the scene that are probably doing interviews with you. Yeah.
All right, awesome. One last question for you. If you had to pick a food that would describe you, what would it be?
Pizza.
Why?
Because I know. Because you can make any type of pizza, you know what I'm saying? You can have a taco pizza, you can have dessert pizza, you can have a vegan pizza, you can have a meat lover's pizza.
And the fact that you dip your toes into everything,
you know?
Okay, see, he's the writer. He's the writer, not me. But yeah, thank you again for taking the time. I always appreciate it.
Contest me and my girlfriend have. A lot of rappers rapping on beats from community producers. We have great guest judge like xFayze that will be on this Friday. Probably be out by the time you see this.
And I'm excited to be on that.
You're getting it.
I'm starting to get acclimated to it. And I just want to say, I find it really amazing, like your whole personality and just how easy you are to talk to. So thank you for that.